Archive Entry 3721-B, Galactic Standard Year 2876. I, Jorax Bleem, Junior Historian, 3rd Class, am recording this for, oh, who am I kidding? Nobody reads these logs anyway. I tapped my 4 digits against the crystalline display, watching footage of the infamous human banishment ceremony for the 47th time. Professional curiosity, I tell my supervisors. The truth? Utter fascination. Too unpredictable, they said. Too dangerous, they claimed. The Galactic Council, in all their tentacled, scaled, and gelatinous wisdom, had made their decision after humans shattered, the Treaty of Proxima Centauri by developing unauthorized defensive technology. The horror. A species actually trying to protect themselves. Scandalous. The footage showed Grand Admiral Thazak, his purple crest fully extended in that pompous way council leaders have, addressing the human delegation. "Your kind has been granted mercy," he boomed, mandibles clicking with self-importance. One ship. One chance. Beyond the outer rim, never to return. I paused the footage, zooming in on Captain Maya Voss's face. While the other humans displayed various emotions, anger, fear, resignation, her expression remained calculating. Not defeated. Planning. That's what terrified the Council most about humans, their stubborn refusal to accept limitations. The ceremony continued with Thazak practically gloating, "The galaxy will finally know peace without human unpredictability disrupting our perfect order." Perfect order. Ha! More like perfect stagnation. The humans were escorted to their lone vessel, the Defiance, even their ship names were rebellious. Captain Voss paused at the entry ramp, turned toward the camera, and, did she wink? I've replayed this moment countless times, and I swear she winked. As the Defiance disappeared into the black void, Thazak declared, "Thus ends the human problem." Oh, how spectacularly wrong he would prove to be. I glanced around the empty archive chamber, heart organs pulsing with nervous energy. Confirming I was alone, I connected my personal data crystal and began downloading every human historical record available. Their art, science, military tactics, philosophy, especially their concept of spite, which no translation program could adequately define. Download complete, the system announced. I smiled, all 3 of my mouths curving upward. The Council had given humans one ship. One ship was all they would need. Now I'll continue with part 2 of your HFY story, #only one ship? Banished by the Galactic Council, humanity built a greater empire #part 2, the unexpected return, Senior Archivist Bleem. We need your expertise immediately. My assistant, Plix, burst into my office, all 5 eyes dilated with panic. 75 years had passed since the human exile, a mere eye blink in galactic time, but enough for most to forget their existence. What is it now, Plix? Another counselor demanding historical precedent to justify their political agenda? I sighed, my scales dulling with age and cynicism. No, sir. Transmissions. From beyond the outer rim. In human language patterns. My heart organs skipped a beat. The data crystal I'd kept hidden all these years suddenly felt heavy in my pocket. The Galactic Council had grown fat and lazy in humanity's absence. Why innovate when you can regulate? Our technology had barely advanced, the same ships, the same weapons, the same tiresome bureaucracy that mistook tedium for stability. Show me, I demanded, following Plix to the Central Observatory. The transmission wasn't just some desperate refugee signal. It was a full diplomatic broadcast from something calling itself, the Human Cooperative. And it wasn't alone. Our sensors detected not one ship, but thousands, appearing at the edge of Council space. By the 7 moons, whispered Admiral Kulks, Thazak's successor. How many vessels? We've counted 3,000 so far, sir, replied a trembling technician. And more appearing. The view screens flickered to life, showing ships unlike anything in our database. Sleek, asymmetrical designs that seemed to bend space around them. Energy signatures that made our scientists' appendages twitch with confusion. "This is Admiral Elias Reed of the Human Cooperative," announced a calm voice as a pink-skinned human appeared on screen. "We come in peace and seek diplomatic exchange." I stepped forward, unable to contain myself. "You've built all this in just 75 years? Reed smiled. "When you're thrown into the wilderness with nothing but your wits, you either adapt or die. We found others out there, species your precious council had also discarded. Together, we've established colonies on over 400 worlds." The council chamber erupted into chaos. 400 worlds? The council only controlled 337. "We're entering your space now," Reed continued pleasantly. "We've deactivated weapons systems as a show of good faith." As the human armada gracefully entered our territory, I couldn't help but notice Admiral Kulx's trembling mandibles. The council had given humans one ship and expected extinction. Instead, they'd built an empire. I'll write part 3 of your HFY story focused on the negotiation between humans and the Galactic Council. #only one ship? Banished by the Galactic Council, humanity built a greater empire. ## part 3, the negotiation. Senior Archivist Bleem, the council has requested your assistance. Admiral Kulx managed to make the word "requested" sound like a death sentence. Me? Why would the mighty council need a dusty old archivist? I asked, feigning ignorance while my hearts raced. Because you're the only one who's studied the humans extensively. You're now our official liaison to these invaders. Hours later, I found myself aboard the human flagship, New Horizon. The name seemed appropriate, it was unlike anything I'd ever seen. The interior defied conventional design, with corridors that curved organically and lighting that adjusted to each visitor's visual preferences. Admiral Reed greeted me personally, flanked by his crew, an astonishing mix of species. I recognized Zentari, Pluraxians, even a few Drix. All species the Council had deemed problematic and quietly expelled over the centuries. "Welcome aboard, Archivist Bleem," Reed said, extending a hand, a human greeting gesture I recognized from my studies. "You've built all this. How?" I blurted out, professional decorum forgotten. Reed laughed. "By doing exactly what the Council feared, being unpredictable. We found other exiles, shared knowledge instead of hoarding it. The Zentari understood quantum mechanics in ways we never imagined. The Pluraxians had biological insights that revolutionized our medicine. Their technological advances were staggering. Faster-than-light travel that didn't require massive energy expenditure. Biomechanical interfaces that enhanced rather than replaced. Energy manipulation systems that extracted power from the quantum foam itself. Meanwhile, back in the Council chambers, panic reigned. I received constant updates, threats to mobilize our superior fleet, empty promises of consequences. The pathetic flailing of a regime suddenly confronted with its own irrelevance. "Your council has 3 options," Reed explained during our 4th meeting. "Fight us and lose, surrender to us, or..." I prompted, all 3 of my mouths dry with anticipation. "Join us as equals. We're not interested in conquest or revenge, those are inefficient. We're building something greater than the old divisions." I studied Reed's expression, searching for deception. "After what the Council did to your people, you offer alliance?" Reed smiled. "The Council gave us exactly what we needed, freedom from their constraints. Why would we be angry about that?" In that moment, my admiration for humans crystallized into something approaching awe. The Council had expected vengeance. Instead, they offered vision. I'll complete the final part of your HFY story, #only one ship? Banished by the Galactic Council, humanity built a greater empire. ## part 4, the New Order. The terms are Acceptable, Admiral Kulks grudgingly announced after weeks of negotiation, mandibles clicking in barely concealed frustration. The Galactic Council chamber, once the pinnacle of power, now seemed small and outdated compared to the sleek functionality of human vessels. I watched from my position at the diplomatic table, still officially the liaison but now something more. The Council had no choice but to accept. Their technological inferiority was matched only by their political inflexibility. Watching them squirm was, I admit, deeply satisfying. That was 20 years ago. Now, as I walk through the sprawling plazas of New Harmony, the first truly integrated human-alien metropolis, I marvel at how quickly everything changed. Species that once avoided each other now collaborate openly. The technological renaissance sparked by human innovation has spread across former Council space like wildfire. Zentari crystal architects work alongside human engineers to create structures that would have been impossible before. Pluraxian biocultivators and human geneticists have eliminated diseases that plagued us for millennia. Even the notoriously solitary Drix have established joint research facilities, their mathematical insights merging with human creativity to redefine faster-than-light travel. The great irony isn't lost on anyone. By banishing humans with a single ship, the Council inadvertently created the conditions for humanity's greatest triumph. Their punishment became the catalyst for an unprecedented golden age. Professor Bleem. Your lecture begins in 10 minutes, calls my assistant, interrupting my reflections. After chronicling the transition, I accepted a teaching position at the newly established Human Galactic Academy. My course, Interspecies Diplomacy and Historical Reconciliation, has a waiting list 3 terms long. As I gather my notes, I can't help but wonder what might have happened if the Council had recognized human potential instead of fearing it. How much time was wasted on prejudice and control? How many species were needlessly sidelined? Today we'll discuss the paradox of limitation, I tell my students, a diverse mix of former Council species and human cooperative members. And how humanity's response to exile reveals a fundamental truth about sentient potential. I activate the holographic display, showing Captain Voss's famous wink alongside Admiral Reed's alliance proposal. Remember this above all else, I say, my voice carrying to every corner of the lecture hall. Limitations exist only for those who agree to accept them.